Alrighty then, it's time for a Effects Q game with the homies. Yay. Which one? And who better play with homies than Broloff? So, yeah, I'm playing a triple Q with me in the jungle, a classic player you guys may remember in mid lane, and another teammate in top lane. Bottom lane is apparently a dual Q, so we've got a kind of a almost full team going with themselves. You know, at least the people who need to be communicating will be communicating with each other, right? But yeah, the enemy team composition is extraordinarily bad, and I'll say that because I picked Olaf as the second pick of the team, and then they picked pretty CC heavy, so they're gonna get run over at the very least, or at least that's my intention. So Speedy Olaf once again seems to be what I keep spamming. For the most part, I cannot fight Warwick early on, and he can't either. What you could surmise in the Sun composite or in a matchup like this is whoever gets the opening barrage of blows is going to just flat out win. Even with my ultimate, even though I can ignore some of his CC, if I don't get the opening shots against him, he can kill me really easily. Same thing for me. He needs to be whoever surprises the other one is going to win. For the most part in the early game, I'm just trying to, figure out where Warwick is, put some pressure in, give my teammates a little bit of an edge. Because unlike in solo queue solo mode, you tend to not be able to snowball like crazy. Because unless the entire enemy team is inept, there will be at least some communication, and they'll be warning their teammates about you. They'll be working together, similar to how I will be working with my teammates in this case. I do get the second blue, but from now on I'm going to be giving, or at least trying to give the blue buff and my other buffs to my teammates. Here though, since Warwick showed himself bottom lane, I knew he was going to be late to his blue, so I get to ambush him. And like I said, because I had the opening shots against him, I killed him rather quickly. I almost died in fact, but because he had the opening shots, I am the one who came out on top. And as you can see, if he did that on me, I would have probably been so much closer to death or just straight out lost. Anyways, he tried to do Dragon here, and it cost him his life. And LeBlanc and I chased a little bit awkwardly, but since I'm assuming Malzahar's with one of these guys, he was able to be. He showed up right on time. I figured, they were communicating him, telling him, come over here. Unless he knew, but I don't know what they're talking about. But I'm figuring at least, the communication that normally accompanies flex queue is allowing these players to react appropriately. So it's a bit more, it's a bit more fun this way. Just having that whole little time, trying to play chess, figuring out what they're doing, figuring out what you should be doing. I run up top lane, with the angry boots to try to get a gank against Fiora. It technically succeeds, so she has to burn her flash, even though she got very low. My bottom lane, though, gets killed once again, although they get a revenge kill against the Warwick. So it's still a 9-9. The gold spread is very even. So, yeah, the kill spread for my team is pretty good, although the Lucian has 4 deaths. However, his CS is quite on par with the Jhin, which is surprising considering how, the Jhin has 6 kills in his favor. So, at that very most, the Lucian isn't too far behind technically. The rest of my team has a better spread, with the LeBlanc getting 4 kills, and, the Gangplank having 1. The Volibear having 3 is a little bit odd, but, it can still work in our favor. For the most part, like I said, I'm going to be trying to dive through the enemy team, and having Volibear being able to defend the Jhin and keeping people off him is going to be a big deal. If anything, hopefully he throws himself against the Fiora. That was my hope here at least. Go gank Malzahar, burns his flash, and small gains like that in these team-based kind of, or at least more team-centric queues is a pretty good big deal. You're already watching each other's back, so any small advantage, can make a big deal. Because, your teammates are not going to be playing as risky as solo queue, solo mode would tend to be, right? You're warning them, whatever. So, once again, I run up to Fiora and mad dashing and trying to gank her. And this time I have Righteous Glory, and I miss my Q. Sad day. Nothing comes of that. And once again, Warwick is sort of terrorizing my bottom lane, but at this point, the communication is starting to get better, and he's able to get punished a bit more. His spread is a little bit bad. Here, Malzahar, I gotta say, I love this. I run at him. He has absolutely no chance in hell of surviving. He even completely forgets, or just kind of as last-ditch effort, I guess, to not ult my, he ults my ultimate, so it doesn't do anything. And he just promptly dies. Like I said, they picked into the Olaf. So, they are kind of he at least is reaping what he sowed here. Having the speed build against a CC heavy team just makes it fun because their Jhin is just kind of food. Here I gank the Fiora, and then I back off because I'm not too sure if she has homies nearby her. But then when I realize that she's still pushing by herself, I just turn right the fuck back around and just aim straight for her. Like at this point, this time I will straight out kill her even under the tower. Again, at first I just thought she had homies nearby. And then eventually Warwick does show up, but he can't really do anything, especially since my homie showed up too. But yeah, look at this. Look at this very even kill spread, or at least, the score-wise. 15-16, the goal is very narrow, but it's slowly starting to get into my team's favor because we're farming overall a bit better. And, a lot higher quality kills too. And we also do have a dragon, and we're trying to get a second dragon here. But no, yeah, like I said, watch how team fights are mostly going to unfurl, because the team composition is highly favoring mine. The enemy teams is pretty, again, not made to deal with Olaf, and maybe not even made to deal with someone like Volibear. And if they don't, since they don't have a real tanky champion, we can slowly pick them off and force something. Here, again, mad dash, pop my ultimate as soon as I get CC'd. Malzahar is put in an odd position because there's no actual front line for him to do anything, and we easily pick him off. And then the rest of us just kind of scatter about because the enemy team sort of responds to that rather well. Although I gotta give props to that Lucian for that assassination against the Jhin, so it got us another free little kill, and then allowed LeBlanc to just start run amongst, so there's no real opposition to him or her anymore. So free kill, although then the Lucian pays the price by getting eaten by the Warwick. But yeah, essentially put, once the mid phase starts happening, and once the team gets together and our builds start, becoming a big deal, you just kind of see that the enemy team composition is going to bite them super hard in the ass. Again, like I said, CC heavy team picking against the Olaf is a bad idea. In this case here, all the CC they could be tossing at me does nothing to stop my rampage. I kill Thresh, I basically get Malzahar killed. I do get dropped because the Warwick is, just aims for the throat, but it costs him his life. Fiora committing here, though, is a big deal because most of my team already burned all their CC, so we can't really control her. But again, at the same time, she doesn't have enough damage to knock out my teammates. The Lucian kind of just died by getting too greedy, though, so there's that. In the meantime, LeBlanc gets to split push and take a tower, and then run around again trying to look for another kill. She kills the Jhin. I actually never really did see that in the actual game. I was surprised because I was running on top lane. But yeah, now at this point, I have Dead Man's Plate 2. And now I'm building a team up to get with a Hydra, a Titanic Hydra, I mean. Because at this point, I'm going to just ramp up my damage. They can barely even tickle me at this point. And they can't even CC me. So my hope is to kill the Jhin, and then kill the Malzahar. And then, if I'm forced to fight the Fiora, I at least have better damage just straight out slugging it out with her. Because normally I don't build a Titanic Hydra unless it's super late into the game. But at this point, I can make that kind of sacrifice. I don't need MR. The only real threat they could have had was Malzahar, and he's not doing such a good job. So hooray! Here, though, Warwick does kill me because I got a little bit too ambitious, and so he bites me in the Viking butt. Nonetheless, like I said, the kill spread for my team is pretty good. Lucian being 2-7-8 is negated by the fact that he's farming rather well, and so not too far behind from the Jhin himself. So here, though, my team were by themselves getting a little bit too greedy, and the LeBlanc was easily picked off. But like I said, they don't really have any mode to actually catch my teammates, so whatever. They just kind of walked away from that, even though it was a pretty good situation for them. Thresh tries something against the Volibear, which is like the worst target, and it allows me just to kind of run right in there, ignoring everything once again, and just doing as much damage as humanly possible, or Vikingly possible. Again, I killed somebody immediately, then did quite a bit of damage against Fiora, and then we just kind of, bum rush chased the remaining survivor. Poor Jhin, just running for his life. Once I hit him with a Q, the rest of my team is able to catch him. Volibear going in first, and again, their damage is negligible at this point. They do finally bring down the Volibear, but the last two survivors are brought down too. So hooray! Right now, I finally get to go home after clearing these little chickens. And running around here, healing my chickens too, and then getting my red buff too, and then getting the golems, and I'll be able to finally buy a Titanic Hydra. Though I'm kept around because of the Baron threat and just controlling more with the homies. But yeah, Here, once again, a fight sort of erupts and LeBlanc just gets absolutely giga-wrecked. We give it a little bit of a chase, but to very little avail. Eventually, the chase gets a little bit too aggressive here because we didn't think they'd go that far, and they kill Gangplank. And now they're going straight for, or they're trying to go for the Baron, but Volibear, Lucian, and I are pretty threatening just by our threesome. That is one of the best words to be choosing in these videos, given YouTube's kind of content, I can't even just say it anymore because I'm afraid of saying anything against YouTube anymore. Anyways, run in there. I immediately use my ultimate because I realized, oh man, all of them are here. And even though, my ultimate, I can ignore all their CC, I can't kill anyone fast enough before that thing wears off and then I get CC down, so. But whatever, my ultimate has a pretty short cooldown at this point. So yeah, build-wise, again, my build, Titanic Hydra, is made just to duke it out with anybody at this point. I believe my next item was just going to be Warmog's armor. Just because at this point, it just become a massive beefcake and nothing can be done to me. The enemy team, while they did win certain encounters, it was mostly because they picked off somebody. That's their only real hope. Otherwise, they can't really do very much against us anymore. Look at me, I just pop my ultimate sort of turret dive, get some of the aggro, knock off Warwick, and all of a sudden they're once again in the defensive because they don't really have anyone to go in and do something. Thresh is the only one really, but he's not too reliable to be doing that by himself unless he's got some kind of flash play. And again, the team just kind of gets bulldozed at this point. But yeah, so 4 kills under tower, and that was it. With that, we were able to just kind of push for the win. Thresh can't do basically nothing, and we win. That's a pretty good game for Flex, and this is kind of why I wish Flex mode was played a bit more, so yay. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos because YouTube and stuff.